สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome back everyone. One more time, a big round of applause. Thank you very much to show me that you are so ready for the next session. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and we are about to begin our opening plenary very soon. To kick off our first major session of the day, we explore the future of the hospitality industry. It's my pleasure to invite our moderator, our Chief Executive Officer of GSTC. Welcome back, Mr. Randy Durband. And joining him are our distinguished panelists. The first one, our Chief Executive Officer of Pan Pacific Hotels Group. Welcome on the stage, Mr. Choe. Next, our Chief Financial and Sustainability Officer, the Ascott Limited, Miss Siew Kim. Followed by our Vice President of Operations, Central and Southern Thailand, and Government and Business Relations, Dusit International, Miss Prachum Tanti Prasertsuk. And our last panelist, welcome on the stage, Senior Vice President of People and Culture and Sustainability at Greater China, Miss Grace Siang. The floor is yours.
Ready for us?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you all. We've got a very compelling group here of thought leaders, and it's not a coincidence that I know everybody so well. I know you all, some better than others. We won't get into that. But it's not just that these organizations have worked with GSTCs, they're really doing things great on a systematic level. And what we've put together here in this panel are they're all Asian-based, which is helpful. We're kind of in the region, but could have been more global. But all of these organizations have really applied sustainability to many properties in the hotel space. So, right, none are just a single property. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the challenges of motivating everybody in each hotel property. What were success factors? We're going to keep this very casual and informal. And I've asked each of the four of them to give us 5 minutes of some kind of key pieces of what they see as success factors. And just by way of introduction, you've heard the names, and you see the names and the titles and the associations. But just if I could just kind of quickly give a kind of a high level where I see, we can get some important messaging. My friend Mr. Choe here with Pan Pacific Hotels, not a large chain, a very high luxury chain. Many of your properties are in Singapore, but many countries. You're in Canada, you're in Australia, you're in many countries. And so we want to hear from you about the challenges of where I know you've had great success at getting there, but it wasn't always the same 5 years ago to get all those owners on board. So we want to hear about that. And Siew Kim with Ascott, they have their own Ascott brand, but you acquired Oakwood and Somerset and Citadines, and you're growing. And so the challenges that you have with 1,100 properties with a goal to get all of them GSTC certified by 2028, what do you do in terms of how to get there? How do you manage that? That'd be great. And I have to comment also on Siew Kim. Absolutely remarkable. She's the Chief Financial Officer of this group of hotels, and she's also the Chief Sustainability Officer. I think that's so cool. So in that corporate structure, I would say they value sustainability. So we'd like to hear a little bit about that too. My friend Kun Ging with Dusit Hotels, a Thai brand. All of Thailand or some outside? They have outside as well. Okay, 40 hotels around the world. So your challenge is along the same lines of how you get everybody on board. And Grace Xiang is with Accord China, and I think similar story, many properties, but I think a little bit different flavor from the others because you've got different levels of luxury. And right now you've got 50 EVA's properties going along, which I'm excited about because I think somehow we get a little bit too associated with luxury hotels because luxury hotels, I think, have been more first movers. But it's important to not pigeonhole this into just sort of larger hotels or luxury hotels. So that's part of the story I want to hear from you. So why don't we go right down the line? And Grace, do you mind starting? We'll go across.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Very happy to be with you all. And I join you from Ascott, Great China. To give you a little bit quick sense of scale, Randy said that no advertisement. But I think what I'm going to say about Ascott afterwards is linked with my points, right? So Ascott, as of today, we have 5,800 hotels, 110 countries, 45 brands, as Randy just mentioned. And we have overall 380,000 people work for Ascott, where we call ourselves Heartist. That's a heart plus artist. And then we even get registered for that name. So in China, currently we have 800 hotels and 18 brands. Totally, we have 25,000 team members. So yes, it's big, it's diverse, and then locally operation. So that comes to, if I talk about the leading towards sustainability, the biggest, I don't like the words challenge, but the biggest goal we need to achieve actually is not to have an ambition, and it's not we have our goals. I think the key is about acquisition. How we navigate through the very big complexity of these two layers. One is different brand positioning. Another one is operating model. Let me give you a little bit more context. So, particularly in China, we have 18 brands. Of course, the way we run a hotel for Fairmont Peace in Shanghai are not the same. We operate a hotel in an Ibis in third-tier and fourth-tier city. And luxury is talking about experience, ritual, and feeling. While my Ibis hotel owner and guests look about reliability and value. One size does not fit for all. Another layer is about our operation model. In China, among these 800 hotels, we have managed hotel, franchised hotel, and must franchise partnership. In managed hotel, of course, we can control the standard, the way how we operate the hotel, whilst in franchise hotel, our role is slightly different. We are more of service provider. We provide a standard. And of course, we seek for how we make sure that all the brand compliance and then quality control is in place. So indeed, for this complexity of brand and operation model, when we talk about the leadership, it has to be pragmatic. It cannot be dogmatic. Give you a little bit more context. Take an example about water. So in 2025, we successfully reduced our water intensity by 5.1% for all Great China properties. But that does not come from a memo or mandate from head office. It's actually wing from really to cooperate with brands, to have brand-specific engineering, as well as an owner-friendly business case. So for us, in premium, mid-scale, and economy hotel, we set the water technical standard as 4 liters per minute for the tap and 6 liters per minute for the shower. So when we talk to our franchise owner, we say, hey, it gives you 6 to 12 months return of investment, and you will see soon a smaller bill. But for our luxury hotel, because that's kind of experience that our guests are pay for that. They are expecting that. They look for experience. So we set a slightly different, is that the tap water keep the same, 4 liter. But that's 9 liter per minute for our overhead shower and 8 liter per minute for our handheld. So when our guests still enjoy the luxury rain shower that they pay for, but the saving actually happen behind the wall because we install different water flow regulators and we do some adjustment. So in very short time, around 4 months, we are able to get around 40,000 tap and shower upgraded to that standard. While it's applied to the others, is the way how we do food waste for luxury hotel are different. The reduction, the targets are set different compared to our premium mid-scale economy hotel. So, but I think that the way that we have such the complexity of brands and operation models actually helping us. Sometimes it can be a headache for few days or months or week, but overall, if I look back, it's actually the engine of innovation. It pushes us. We have to think differently, and we have to listen. The customer, the guest, the owner, and very important, don't forget the hotel team, right? Is that the mandate will not always work if we don't get the support from the brands and from the owner. So I think if in a short one sentence to summarize this, the leadership in sustainability is like we really have to have actionable suggestions and tools available so that at the global level we can be responsible and the local that's relevant. And most important is really commercial viable for our hotel and owner. Okay, so that's on my side.
Beautiful, thank you. Wow, 5 minutes.
You said 5 minutes.
You practiced, thank you. Kun Ging, you would pick up?
Yes. I know that you will not allow me to advertise my brand.
A
but
little bit.
But I'm something that I'm very proud of. I'm going to be very casual with you, okay? It's kind of like almost like a storytelling because I want you to enjoy the conference as well. I represent the SIT International, and we have 40 hotels around the world, and we have 5 brands, okay? Going to be 6 brands soon. In fact, when we talk about sustainability, I'm very proud to tell you that my founder, ท่านผู้หญิงชนัท her name is ชนัท เปียอุย she started sustainability way before any one of us. She built the first hotel from her dream 77 years ago, and the hotel's name Princess Hotel is the first hotel in Thailand that has air conditioning and swimming pool, by the way. And when she started building the hotel, she balanced her business focus. She focused on the business, but at the same time, she balanced it with environment. She balanced it with social, and last but not least, she balanced it with development of human resources. She created a job for all of us in Thailand, and she think, yes, I create a job, but I don't have enough manpower. So she built the college, and until today, comes to the 36 years of the Sithani College, and we probably are having about 500 to 800 persons graduated on yearly basis. And having said that, this philosophy has embedded in Dusit International generation to generation. And we have a strongly belief that this is the right philosophy if we would like to develop further. And I think her key roles those days is, number one is she wanted to introduce Thailand to the world. We have beautiful country, beautiful history, a rich culture, delicious food, a smiling face everywhere you go. She would like to introduce this to the world. And number two is she take care of environment, and she worked closely with local community wherever she built the hotel. She built, in her lifetime, I think she probably built more than 20 hotels in Thailand and outside Thailand. And as I said, she's not only create a job, but she developed people in the industry and also outside the industry by giving the education. And giving the opportunity means that regardless of gender, regardless of age, regardless of nationality, religious, she take them all. So that's something that we inherit from her. And when it's come to COVID-19, my CEO said, we have to make something tangible. With the new normal, you've got to change. We cannot continue to operate the way we operate business for the past 70 years. So we introduced Dusit Graciousness, which comprise of 4 pillars: personalized service, well-being, sustainability, and locality. So these are 4 pillars that we've been using all around the world. And yes, all the way, I think we are facing the same challenges, if I may say. And the challenges that we have been facing, obviously, number one is mindset of the people. Would you agree with me that sustainability is not difficult if everybody believes in it? And how can we change the mindset of the people? How can we go and tell chef, you don't have to provide so many things on the buffet line? How can we change the mindset of our staff? Don't throw away everything in one trash. You know, you have to segregate it. How can you tell people who collect the trash from us, from the local authority, once we segregate, they dump everything into the same truck again, right? So how we can change the mindset of the people. The challenge number 2 that we've been facing is the alignment of all the stakeholders. We cannot clap our hands in one hand. It takes 2 to tango, right? We cannot do it alone. We need all the stakeholders to be alignment. Number 3, the challenge that we're facing is about budget. Especially under this economic climate, it's not easy. And as he said, you know, when you have different brands, different owners, the priority is not the same, right? And most of the owner, I can say on behalf of all the owner, the first priority is GOP, right? Gross operating profit. It's not about sustainability. If you look at our KPI, I used to be GM before. The first priority, Mr. Luki, is GOP. The second priority is what? Cash flow, right? Sustainability always come to the last. This is our KPI across all the brand, right? So that's the challenge that we've been facing. And last challenge that I've been facing is how the consistency. When you practice it, you have to do it often. You have to do it regularly, and you have to measure your success. You implement, but you don't measure your success. You don't practice it. Operation doesn't care whether it's work or not. You only practice when the auditor comes. It's not going to fly. So these are the challenges that we have been facing. So what is the solution? The solution is we have to focus on the practical, okay, how we're practicing it. Execution, you have to empower your people to do their job. And you have to have a very strong commitment from your leadership. Otherwise, it's not going to fly, it's not going to happen. And I still believe that the secret recipe for all of us here is, number 1 is you got to believe in it. If you believe in it, you're gonna make it happen. You have to have care, commit, and can-do attitude. Once you care, you commit. And once you commit, everything is possible, right? So, and as I keep saying, leadership is very important. Mindset, leadership, and commitment that you have. These are the secret recipe that I believe that it's going to make it work, okay? And the solution to this is another 3 things, and I promise I'll give the microphone to you. Another solution that I have and I recommend is, number 1 is make sure that we, in operation, we practice it and we do it seriously. You have to make people in sales and marketing and operation understand that sustainability is not a logo. It's not a trademark. It is not a promotion material that you put in your quotation. But it is responsible for everyone to make this world a place to live for all mankind in the world. It's a nice place to live, not just only a place to live, okay? And we have to save the world for the next generation. And solution number 2 is you have to empower your people to do their job. Don't hold everything to yourself. You are not the only one who can make decisions on sustainability. Everyone has a right to make decisions. Everyone has a chance and opportunity. Give them chance and opportunity to show their abilities, okay? So, and then the last solution, as I said, I keep saying this 3 times already. You have to have commitment from your leadership. These are the solution to that. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Absolutely. Thank you. Wait, before we move on, a little bit more, I'm going to give a little privilege as a Thai host. A couple of things that I think Dusit does very well, and you do personally. And I see my friend Kun Marisa in the front row. It seems to me, you Kun Marisa and Kun Gang, you're in all the committees on sustainability. So thank you. That's leadership, right? And so I commend you for that. Every time I come to Thailand, I'm with one or both of you, it seems like, doing something. But as a brand, you know, I celebrated last month my 30th anniversary of coming to Thailand. And I've been here often, spent a lot of time. I know a great deal about Thai tourism. And I'm very happy that Thai people, the economy has grown over 30 years. More people enter the middle class, but we're also losing some of the Thai heritage, and what's visible to the customer. That's just natural through economic development. It's still there, I know it, but it's just a little less visible. But I think your brand, you're making efforts on that. Could you just, Sukham, do you mind waiting? Could you just speak a little bit about, I think of Dusitani, I think a little bit more about Thai culture.
Okay.
How does that happen? Why am I feeling that way?
Talking about Thai culture, thank you for this question, you know. When people come to Thailand, they have very high expectation. We have a reputation of being very accommodated. Everything is possible in Thailand. We will not say no to the client. That is Thai hospitality, right? Whether they understand what you want or not, they will smile and say yes. Okay, that's okay. I give you an example. When people come and stay at Dusitani, Bangkok, luxury 6-star hotels, and they expect Thai hospitality, they expect that everything should be luxury. Why don't you change my bed sheet every day? Can you fill up 10 bottles of water in my room? I pay 10,000 baht a night. Why not? Come and fill it up. Where else, you know, I have another brand called Asai. Very lifestyle, very chic, you know, for young generation. They don't want to have water in the room. They have this beautiful, you know, things, you know, and they fill up the water by themselves. So that shows that this is a difference between the old generation. I don't want to call old generation, my generation, okay? My generation and perhaps that gentleman generation to sit at the back, okay? So the expectation is different. When it's come to the Thai brand and Thai hospitality, sometimes we are a little bit struggling. I think all of you who work in the hotel, most of your clients, even yourself, when you go to the buffet line in the morning for breakfast, wow, this hotel is excellent, so many choice, great, well done chef, right? But in reality, do you know majority of the food waste come from your buffet breakfast? It's a lot of money. So that's why I keep saying that to operate a luxury brand, it's not easy to align with sustainability policies and procedures. And with Thai brand, you know, as I said, everything is possible. Whatever you want, we will deliver it. So the key to the success is how you communicate with your client, how you communicate with your staff. Make sure that they understand and align. And recognition is very important. Once you make it happen, once the client gives you a corporation, you got to give them recognition too. Say, well, you know, thank you very much for today. I try to sell green meeting, Randy. And a lot of people, believe me or not, they don't like green meeting. They said, no, I want to have my stationery on the table. I want to have water on the table. I want you to turn on air condition half an hour before I arrive, and don't switch off air condition before my meeting finish. But once we convince them, we explain to them, and we give them recognition. Hey, at the end, you know, carbon emission, this is what you have saved, what you have done for this world. And they're so proud of it. They will say, okay, I take it. Now I understand why you convinced me to follow your advice to join the green meeting package. I'm not sure if I answered your question, but This is also the challenge of being a luxury Thai hospitality because we want to please the client, but at the same time, we have to balance with what we believe that it's help making the world a nice place to live, which is the sustainability.
ดีมากมาก
ดีมาก
ขอบคุณครับ
ค่ะ And the other thing, ladies and gentlemen, when you go back to your room, please tell the roommate, do not insert the key card in the box.
Oh,
because-
yes, thank you.
Right?
Applause for that.
I fight with my housekeeper every day. No, they call me Sister King. Sister King, ไม่ได้ The client come back very hot. And they want a nice and cold room. Said, no, please explain to the client, this is how we save the world. This is how we save the energy. So please make sure when you go back to the room, take it out
Good
from the
for
key
you.
card box and tell the housekeeper.
Thank you. It's one of my pet peeves. You know, the hotel, the building gets points for lead, you know, for installing the key card system. So they should have deduction from lead for not operating the key card system by stuffing cards. And I've seen a sock in one of those before. So thank you for that. Okay, Sue Kim, we're dying to hear from you, please.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Siew Kim from the Ascott group. Very nice to be part of the GSTC conference, a conference I really enjoy coming to. Because at this conference, it's really not about competition of brands. I mean, I remember Randy saying that, you know, sustainability is not about competition, it's about collaboration. And this is what makes this conference very special, because we want everybody to progress in this space. And when one brand is doing better than another brand, that's great. And we celebrate that. And we want just to advance sustainability together as an industry. Then tourism will prosper, and all of us will prosper in that space. So thank you for having me. So Randy introduced me as a very unique role. I take care of finance and sustainability. And that is always like a very weird combination. And I always joke that my boss do that because he thinks that it's very sustainable to have one person, one paycheck doing two jobs. But the reality is, when I took up this role, it was not because, first, I always tell people, frankly, I'm not a tree hugger, but there was a lot of commercial value in sustainability in the finance world. There was big commercial reason because at that time I've seen a big shift towards institutions be investing in sustainability or demanding sustainable and responsible operations. So as a finance head, your role is to preserve value of a company, and sustainability comes hand in hand. Interestingly, just at the coffee break, there was a question asked. Cost is always a question when we talk about sustainability. And I always have this answer because it's very interesting when, if you're not in finance and you're running sustainability, you go to your finance head for budget on sustainability, the answer is always, no. So we need to change the mindset of the finance people, because sustainability is not a cost. It's actually a value proposition to your owners, to your guests, and to your staff. And I've seen how that have changed over the last 4 years since I took on this role. And it's the driving force behind, you know, how an organization can sustain much longer and stay more resilient. So I drive sustainability 4 years ago. I've been chasing Randy, and we have been a great partner since 4 years ago, right? So Ascott, we have been part of Capital Land Group, driving a big part of the environmental part of sustainability. And Randy spoke about that just now. But when I took on the role 4 years ago for Ascott as a Chief Sustainability Officer, besides the E part, actually there are other parts of sustainability that's very relevant to tourism that we don't drive it. And therefore, GSTC came into play, the partnership, what they have rolled out for the standards for sustainable hotels make a lot of sense for us. So Randy shared about the hotel, the MICE, now they're rolling out F&B. They're fantastic standards for us and very easy to adopt. So we took that standards And not ashamed to say because it's free, they have developed very credible standard that we can adopt straight away. So we came up with a framework for Ascott, Ascott Cares. And we already had that program before, taking care of, and that program was developed because of COVID. We call Ascott Cares, taking care of guests. But post-COVID, we re-adopt that standard and look at what GSTC standards were under the 4 pillars and bring that standard into my Ascott Cares program. And that's what exactly Randy said. You can use the GSTC standards for free and then adopt that standard into your own brands. That's where then we use our own branding, Ascott Cares. And if you look at the Ascott Cares program, and CARES stands for the acronym Community, Alliance, which is partnership, CAR, Respect, which is all the diversity, equity, inclusion, environmental, and then S for supply chain. And this kind of encompass what GSTC standard is pushing within each of the 4 pillars that they have. So it was very easy for us to adopt. Ascott is a hospitality, and that's where we are sitting here, hospitality accommodation player. We have hotels, service apartment, co-living. We have 1,000 properties in our portfolio, 40 different countries, 200 over cities. So I sit in Singapore as a corporate. We roll out the program. We started off with 1 staff. So Johnny is the guy. Johnny, he does all the work. I do all the talking. But Johnny is fantastic. He started with me, 1 person. We designed the program. We, of course, work with a team across the organization. And we have fantastic support from GSTC. So we started off 4 years ago. They were there to support us on every journey. They get a lot of emails from us. Correct, Rita? How we can, do and adopt a lot of the criteria. So we are one of the first hospitality company to get the committed status from GSTC. And then we look at how we can adopt the program, embed it in Ascott Cares. And what is so magical about it is because we have so many properties in so many countries, and because we adopt a consistent standard, it was very easy to roll out. Everybody understand it. So that was very helpful. And we set a target. So my comms team, who is not here, tell me you cannot do a MOU, you cannot make any announcement without setting any targets. So they forced me to set some targets, which we did. So we brought Ascott Cares program. Under each of the pillar, we set the targets on what we want to achieve. And we don't want something to be overly ambitious that we can't achieve. So we kind of look at the market and say, okay, let's do this. What I've learned over the journey for sustainability and everything else is progress over perfection. You can never get it right on day one. So we set a target that is measurable, that is understandable and easily adoptable by our countries and our team, and we work along the way. So one of a very stretched target we have set, and Randy mentioned that, was getting our properties 100% GSTC certified by 2028. And that was 4 years ago. When we started the journey, we asked our countries, okay, who want to start the journey first? Who want to get your property certified? So we have 2 properties, Singapore and India. So they started the journey together with our GSTC. We were certified within, I think, 9 months. And out of that process, we inspired other countries, other properties to do the same. So there was a lot of journey of, there was a journey of learning. So running a big portfolio with many countries, what I've learned is you need to inspire them, you need to share. And they come back and tell me, say that, oh, wow, you can do that. So another property shared, they can do that. So another country say, oh, I can do that too. So the continuous learning of learning from each other really make them do better each time. So yes, thank you GSTC for the partnership. We are now from 2 property certified to 250. That's 40% of our portfolio. And, countries that tell me it's not possible, like in Europe, oh, what's GSTC? They've never heard of it at that time. They are now the country-wide is certified. We have Thailand, who is 100% certified, Philippines, and as well as Malaysia. So the journey is going on. So I think the continuous journey of inspiration and advocating for it and setting targets. So besides GOP target, we have certification targets. Yeah, so it's part of their KPIs. But I think while it's part of the KPI, it's not a big component of the KPI, but the fact that it's in the KPI makes a big difference. Because every management meeting that we have, we will track the KPI. And if you track it, you have to answer for it. So it just changed the mindset of the people at the ground. The other thing that we have done, I think, was good on the onset when we run the program was we make the country team take ownership. Because I cannot be telling them what to do all the time. So what we did was, as part of our corporate governance, we have a corporate sustainability council, but we set up a country sustainability council. So every country, there is a council chaired by the country GM. So they become responsible for the sustainability initiatives in the country. And at every property, we also set up a council. So that becomes a part of their operations. So they'll meet regularly to talk about what they can do in each of these space. And the one thing I think, which is I think is very clever, we did was we nominate sustainability champions in each our country. Because when you call them champions, they want to be champions, right? So that kind of encourage each of the country to drive sustainability in their country. Then there is recognition. Every year we recognize properties that are driving sustainability. So in our annual conference, which we just had at Hanoi, we actually recognize them. So that kind of encourage and motivate and makes a lot of difference in driving sustainability in our portfolio. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. There's a lot there, 1,100 properties in all those countries. So please, Mr. Choe.
Thank you, Randy. I'm the baby in the group compared to Accor, Ascott. So only 58 properties in 30 cities. We own 70% of our properties. So it's easier to push sustainability goals for those you own. But many years ago, it's a hard time convincing those we don't own owners to jump in the bandwagon. But I think right now a lot of other owners, they are very aware of sustainability. So it's a matter of convincing. It's a matter of telling them what to do. So we're very, we're very confident that we'll also roll out all those that we don't own as well. We just need a very solution-based mind rather than a problem-based mind. Yeah. But the two things that I really, really want to push and do much more in our group is the social impact, socio-economic impact, and the environmental impact. Let me explain. The hotel industry is the best industry to hire people with disability. I'm telling you, we got 58 hotels, but we got 8,000 staff. So many jobs. It's really amazing that we can actually hire more people with disability, but not easy. Let me explain. We've been having this, inclusive hiring for more than 10 years. Only 48 of our staff are people with disability. Why so low? But at the same time, I'm so happy that half of them was awarded the long year service, 5 years long year service. So, but how do we create an environment and a job so that they really thrive? So, we started to work with extraordinary people to come up with a training school called Inclusive Hospitality Training Academy. Really is to prepare people with disability before they even enter the hotel industry, because it's not easy, okay? It's not easy, because the moment you have too many changes, it's not easy. But we also found out that, in our research with Washington University Business School on their sustainability department, what we found out is that we should make sure we understand the strength of every individual. And when we train based and hire based on their strength, it's amazing. We got a lady that folds thousands and thousands of banquet napkins, and it has to be a certain style. But she would find joy folding those napkins. That's her strength. We have another individual. He's so good at the front office. People say you got to have back office. No, he's so good talking to the guests. Then suddenly we said, put him to housekeeping. He was the most miserable person, because that's the strength, is for him to be out in front. So part of that is a strength-based culture that we need to develop, And then, of course, we also understand that they need a lot of compliments from the supervisors, understand that each time they do something well, they should be complimented. Also commitment from the top, like, what was mentioned, commitment from top that we will not change our stance. We are committed to this cause. So, and hotels are the best also to look after disadvantaged, underprivileged children. Do you know that when we have a community project with, rental flats children, 120 families, they have never been to a hotel buffet. And when we bring them to the ballroom, we had a hotel buffet, and we bring the families along, that made their day. And when we have our chefs do cooking classes together with their families, it's amazing that even time with the parents family bonding is not usual, and we always take it for granted, But the hotels are the best to cater to that. And on top of that, we found that internship and mentoring is amazing. Do you know that hotels, you wouldn't believe this, okay? Someone can enter the hotel as a bellboy. He can rise up. He can rise up to be a general manager. Do you believe me? Yeah. This industry is so different. And if we are able to encompass, embrace disadvantaged, underprivileged, they might not have the chance to study to get that university degree, but the moment they come in, they're mentored, their internship, they have good leaders, they have a chance to succeed in life. That's what hotels are about. We can do that and want to do that more, all right? We only have 48 PWDs, we have 120 families, we want to increase, but that's what we want to do. And the last part, of course, is environmental impact. Hotels. Sorry, I'm going to browbeat on hotels because we're in hotels. We are the biggest wasters of energy. Do you believe me? I mean, even cooling this ballroom, do you know how much kilowatts it takes to cool? And especially if you open the door, the room you mentioned, the key card, people just put it in, right? But then hotel got smart, they put sensors instead, right? But the moment you sleep, they think nobody's in the room, they cut off the aircon. So, you stuff it. But right now, there's generation 2 sensors. Even when you sleep, they sense your heartbeat and it still goes on. But, there are things like this that we can do. Big waste of water. Waterways, and you're right, in tropical, Asia, we have rainfall. Can you imagine if we implement rainwater harvesting? All right, we capture 6 million liters of water in just one property, all right? So much so the government wanted to charge us because we were taking rainwater. But, it's amazing what you can do in Asia, in tropical Asia, all right? And food waste, as what was mentioned, big time food waste, right? Which we are biggest culprit of that, you know. But now we're working with a company that analyzes what we throw away, you know. And so example is, you know, we've been throwing away broccoli. I don't know why broccoli is not very good. But why then put up so much of things people don't want? So when you analyze the waste, you can actually cut back, right? So that's my two pet peeve. I think hotels, and those of us in hotels, we can really do a lot more on social impact. We can do a lot more on environmental impact.
Wow, thank you. I think you can see why these people are leaders in their organizations. Thank you. In our remaining time, and the reason we're not using Slido in this session, because we will in all of our breakouts, but these people are brilliant leaders, and I want to use our remaining time to kind of interplay off each other. And if I could just say in our remaining time, we could kind of think about two themes. We've talked a little bit about employees. We could talk a little bit more about them, but I want to start these two very different topics in our remaining 15 minutes. The other one is a sustainable management system. To tie this to the presentation that Mihi and I just did, talking about systematic ways, you're all champions of really a systematic way of measuring, reporting at the property level that goes up to the brand level. Can we talk about that, those two things in the remaining time? I don't know if you want to, we're a small enough group, just pick up the microphone and let's just try to keep this informal.
Maybe I start? I mean, of course, the management system is important, but that's not just ticking the box ticking for the compliance. It has to be made for operation. Let me give you a concrete example. As just a friend from Dubai just mentioned about, I want to share with you. So initially, when now 86% of Accor China's hotel, we measure food waste. Well, initially, it's just reporting. I just need a baseline. I need a number, right? But once the chef team and FMD team, they know, wow, every morning we waste 10 kilo of this. And it happens constantly. Guess what? Immediately, improvement, things happen. So chef, they will change the purchasing. And the portion size is be optimized. And what we do, even some of our hotel, they came to the creative idea. We talk about the breakfast food waste. So they come up with what idea is, after the rush hour, the peak time, we will change a semi-buffet style. So all the old cold dishes, they will remain still self-served, but the hot one is a la carte. So by doing so, we not just only reduce the food waste, we actually elevate the guest experience. They like the special Chinese noodle they want or the dumpling they want, right? So it shows that the wisdom is always coming from people, you know, at the front line. They tell us this. So for us, is that the operational, the management system is not for auditor to check. It's really come from the team and for the team, and it will be evolving by the team at the ground.
Maybe I'll just add on sustainability management system. So at Ascott, we've been collecting data on energy, water waste for the longest time. And that really helps in terms of how we measure and how we manage. But I think for sustainability management, the most important thing, just like financial reporting, it tells you where you are right now. But I think most important is forward-looking. What do you do with the data? What is your forecast? How do you want to achieve it? So that kind of sets you in terms of the direction you want to take. And that's how you apply on all the data you have collected, the action that you can take to achieve where you want to go. So target setting becomes very important as well. Yeah.
I think measurement is very important because you will never know whether you success or fail without the data. And we have to make use of the data to analyze what we have done well and what needs to be improved. But at the end of the day, just the system only gives us the score. But the most important thing is how we can find a win-win situation. When I say win-win situation is, I measure my success or the hotel success, not only from energy saving, not only from reduced food waste, but another angle, staff satisfaction, customer satisfaction. Why I say staff satisfaction? If we save this much of money and if we run the sustainability, I have to make sure that my staff, they understand why they are doing it. And they're happy to do it. And they are part of the success. On the other hand, my client will have to be very happy too. And I measure from guest satisfaction survey, right? We have so many tools like Trust You and so on. You know, you're in the travel industry, you probably know. So we have to find a win-win situation and balance it between guest satisfaction, staff satisfaction, what we have saved, and what we have done for the world. I give you just a short example. I have a few programs in hotel, and the most successful one is from farm to function. We encourage our GM to grow the vegetables, okay? And they could have a hen farm in the hotel. Can you believe, with a very limited space? We grow the vegetables and we encourage guests to come and visit our vegetable farm, pick up the fresh vegetables for their own salad. We have hen farm. I only have 20 hens in Dusit Thani, Laguna, Phuket. You can come and have a look. And it's become very popular because in the morning you see the small little children handle the basket, pick up the eggs and give it to the chef to fry it fresh, and they serve their parents. It's a beautiful experience, right? Guests these days, you know, when they travel, they're seeking for new experience, convenience, experience, and value. These are the three things that I'm looking for. And having this hen farm, I'm helping the environment because I don't have to pick up drive all the way to pick up the fresh egg. I pick up from my hen farm. I create a beautiful story for the children. They don't play with their computer games all the time. I teach the children how to pay back to their parents, show their respect by frying the fresh egg and serve to the parents, right? So in all angles, this is how I measure the success of sustainability, not necessarily from the numbers that we receive from the report. It's important, don't get me wrong, but you have to look into other angles as well. And for us, for Dusit, we have, I forget to mention, Kun Randy, that we have a program called Tree of Life. We started actually way before COVID, we have Tree of Life. It's our own standard, and we set the criteria for all the hotels. If you achieve the 8 basic standard, you got 1 leaf, and then the next step, if you do this and this, then you get 2nd leaf and 3rd leaf and 4th leaf. So this is a recognition that we give to the general manager and the team of each hotel. And this is how we measure our success. But nevertheless, you know, the world has changed and we cannot live on our own standard. That's why I'm talking to Randy when I first met him and said we have to work with someone who's been recognized around the world. So I decided to work with Randy for GSTC in the future. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Yes, and we.
You want to visit my hen farm in Phuket? Please buy. By the way, I have elephant also. It's not elephant, sorry, buffalo. In Hua Hin, we have the rice field, and you can harvest the rice in our rice field. And I have 2 buffaloes, and now I have a big family. I have 6 buffaloes. Until I have to give it to the farmer because I'm not a buffalo farm. But believe me or not, the children, they never seen how buffaloes work in the rice field before. Have you ever harvested the rice? Please come and visit Dusit Thani, Hua Hin. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to advertise
We're coming
my
on
brand.
Saturday.
Okay. But that's how I measure the success. Guests very happy, staff happy, and of course, you know, we save the world together. Yeah, ขอบคุณค่ะ
I mean, it's really wonderful sharing about measurement, you know, about setting in place steering committees, champions. We don't have elephants and buffaloes, but I just add on one small thing, and that is, for me, I think sustainability works in a company, and you mentioned that before, it has to be top down. If everyone in the company knows that the leader really believes in it and goes down and joins, example, the cooking classes and joins, you know, the family visits and, you know, looks after the growth of that person who is, you know, from an intern to sponsoring his studies. All these measurements and all these steering comms will come alive Otherwise, it's going to be just a tick box. I've done it. Thank you very much. That's what we want. But it comes alive when people believe in the cause, and it can only be done when it's top down.
And Randy, I'll just wrap up one comment. The next time your finance say no, you'll tell them, him or her, that it will cost you more if you do nothing, because you will lose all the revenue from the business. So that's the tagline you have to take away and tell your finance head.
Yeah, well, top down for sure, and I think that's a big formula of success, and that's you people. And there are other CEOs and leaders of organizations like you, but I would argue not enough. So we're frustrated about how do we get more. I've been in so many conferences. As soon as we start talking about sustainability, CEOs walk out the door. Maybe we need more bottom up. I'm frustrated that the market research we see on consumer data from recent Booking.com and Trip.com research on the global traveler wants it. I'm in and out of hotels all the time, but literally traveling the globe. And rarely do I, as a green person, have the opportunity to express myself. I can be upset about it's not green enough, but the form doesn't give me the opportunity to do it, but I just don't come back to that hotel. I think there's a lot missing. So I think maybe bottom up will drive top down, because I just don't think enough leadership in the industry really understands what's going on. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I look at that data and I think it's the young people of the world are going to expect more. We'll see. But I mean, any comments on that?
Actually, GSTC forces us to do that. Because in our guest survey question, we have to put question on their feedback on sustainability, how we can do better, and what they like about what we do. So that kind of forced our approach to look at, the guest feedback on the sustainability, and that was fantastic. So it's part of your requirement. Yeah, thank you.
Sometimes it's also just explaining. I give an example. I mean, this Iran-Iraq war, whatever that's going on in the Middle East, and we were explaining to our whole team, you just add 10 cents more to our energy bill, we have 5 million more in our expense margin. And all the staff I can't believe it. Seriously, just 10 cents more. And that's the kind of energy that we use. But when we explain, take time to explain, they get to know why.
Through the recent report from Trip.com and Google, they call about why travel, right? So, yes, young people, they expand the requirements of sustainability. They want to rent an EV car. They want to have cultural immersion, or they want to really have a real connection with the community. That's one thing. However, what drives us, in addition to, is actually more than generation. I'll give you some example. Commercially, all the IFP now, they require EcoVadis scoring. They want to eco-certified. They ask us for the energy and water intensity reduction number. If you don't have that, we're out, right? So it's not a generational, it's structural. Again, for the leisures, I just mentioned they want a more culture, exposure, this and that. Also from an owner side, an investor, they probably look at this more from a risk lens, right? So if my hotel is in the water scarcity area, if I don't reduce the water consumption, I have a problem. It's not just optional, whether I will exist or not. So all this is make that sustainability is so important, and then we see the demand is definitely growing, but getting smarter. It's traditional, reduce this, reduce that, switch this, lower that, it's not enough. I think the expectations are far more, more than before.
Yeah, thank you. Final, 30 seconds each. What do you want to do most in the next 6 months as a leader on sustainability in terms of how your own time to drive something? If we could again start on that side and work this way. 30 seconds on what will I personally do most the next 6 months to drive sustainability. Either it's something I'm already doing, I'm going to do more of, or it's something new, whether it's new or old, whatever. What are you going to work on most?
Again, start from me. it's difficult to be the first one. But again, for the next 6 months, I want to attend more this kind of conference. Please invite it, whatever online or in the room, invite me, because more to those kind of exposure, let people know how we're doing that, what we're expecting that. So I think the more people, they know sustainability, they will commit it. We'll find joining force. At the end of the day, sustainability is only delivered by people.
Great. Well, we have webinars, by the way, in addition to conferences. Kun Ging, please.
If I could, I would like to have more trainers in this world to train us properly. And I would like to have more, especially for Thailand, auditor coming this way. Because without a proper guidance, we don't know. It's like we swim in the ocean and we don't know whether we're moving towards the right direction. So I think for us, especially for Thailand, I think we need more trainers and we need more people to guide us along the way and help us to narrow down the certification in Thailand. I'm sorry to say that we have so many certificates and we have so many programs that we have to follow, but if we could narrow down and follow the same direction, maybe it's easier for us to move towards together and achieve the goal. Yeah.
2 things for me. GSTC certification, we still have some more to go, so we'll continue to work on that this year. The other big thing that we are working on is disability inclusion. It's something that we have started last year. We have developed a disability inclusion playbook for accommodation. We have set up a task force this year on some of the things that we want to do to train our properties on being more inclusive in terms of our practice, our hiring, our spaces, our digital interface. So this is some big thing that we are working on this year.
And as said before, I really hope that our hotel group can help more people, hire more people with disabilities, underprivileged, and disadvantaged. Hopefully, the group can change lives.
So, this is a group of people doing a lot, and they want to do a lot more. So I commend you for all of that. So thank you very much indeed for sharing.
Very much. Thank you to all.